Hello everybody and welcome to another Mario Kart 8 race analysis, or should I say races, because I'm going to be analyzing multiple races in this video. And so the session I was playing in was PK Sparks Tough Breaks Live. It was 150cc, frantic mode, and it was a pretty fun session overall. And like I said, I'm going to go back and look at some of these races as I went through them and go over my strategies, so that way you guys can apply them to your own games, and even some of the other Mario Kart games. Now basically what I'm doing is just watching these videos, so the commentary is going to be a little bit more unscripted and not quite as organized, but that's just how I want to make the video. But anyway, let's get started. Okay, so I started out a bit late on the recording here, because I didn't realize I was actually recording, so I got off to a bit of a late start with the recording, so no countdown boost there. And I was using a texture-modded Blue Falcon with texture-modded slick tires, which you can't really see because of how the Blue Falcon is. And so my next item was a triple green shell, so I decided to attack PMCS. I take out his back green shell, and right there I noticed that there's a red shell just straight for me, so I threw it backwards very quickly. So I'm trying to remember what happens next. Okay, so didn't get an item, so you're defenseless, so I'm just gonna look around and then I noticed some fire flowers behind me. So I decided to take some wider lines and try to avoid it, but unfortunately, I ended up getting hit by one of them. At least getting hit by one is better than getting hit by all 10. Now right here is a lot of people around me with a lot of items, so I decided to just hold on to my green shell and not drag it, so that way I don't lose it and become left defenseless. And right there I saw a Bullet Bill incoming, so I decided to stay off to the side, since Bullet Bills tend to travel a little bit closer to the center of the road. And right here I have a star, and I also noticed there's a person behind me with a red shell. Surprised, I was waiting for them to throw the red shell, but they were taking their time with it, so I decided to make a little bit right here to go ahead and let them pass. Sometimes you just gotta drop out and let other people deal with it, and I also narrowly avoided a blue shell right there. And right here I thought I was playing like 200cc, so I ended up flying straight into the wall, but I picked up a Bullet Bill, so I decided to hold on to this item, because you never know when a lightning bolt could appear. And right here is still even more item insanity, so I'm just trying to stay off to the side of it. I'm already up to 3rd place with the Bullet Bill, so I'm just being extra careful and keeping an eye out for all the items that are in play. Then right there in 11th place, I see Mario with his lightning bolt. Since they're CPU, they're pretty predictable with the shocks, so I use it and get a shock dodge, and take a lead with the Bullet Bill. And see, that's the benefit of actually saving your items. You'll be seeing that a lot more in some of the other races in this video. And just to end it off, I get a Super Horn, which I didn't really need since I was already far out, so... And 1st place finish. So yeah, so the moral of that race is basically hold on to your items, and also just play it safe when it comes to dealing with a bunch of item insanity. You can try to get off to the side as much as you can, though sometimes that can be very hard to do, especially on a track like Excitebike Arena. Alrighty, on to the next race. Okay, next up we have a race on Water Park, and I actually managed to record the beginning countdown boost this time. Now at the beginning of the race, I noticed there's a whole bunch of Super Horns around me, so I take the wide lines just to avoid dealing with them. You don't always want to go for those tight lines at the start. There's definitely a lot of item insanity. And since everything's starting to get clear, I decided to go for the tight lines at this point. And I go a little bit wider because I was assuming that the other item box would be broken. Now right here, a lot of green shells are around me, so I used my Super Horn to try taking out some of them, but that didn't quite work, and I get swiped by the other green shells right next to me. Now there's a Super Horn earlier that's still there, so I take the wide lines just to avoid getting hit by that. And then I pick up mushrooms next. And so, mushrooms are very good for fire hopping on 150cc. And I notice there's a lot of projectiles up ahead, so I stay off to the side just to avoid getting backspam with any of them. And then I pick up more mushrooms because it's frantic mode in Mario Kart 8. Now right here, I was about to use all 3 of my mushrooms, so then I realized 1st place is actually right there on the screen. So I decided just to hold on to these mushrooms, see if I can get them into 1st place, and I managed to do that. For a very short time until that boomerang arrived, but I had 1 mushroom left, so I managed to front run with just only 1 mushroom, so I have a blue shell repellent in 1st place. Definitely a very good situation right there. Now, another bad situation popped up is that there's a bunch of green shells behind me, so I'm looking behind me to see when they throw them. 2 of them are thrown at me, so then I switch off to the side because I knew they would throw the rest at me. So that was pretty close right there. Gotta be unpredictable with your racing lines, so you're a lot harder to hit. Now right here is when a blue shell appears, and then shortly after, a lightning bolt appears. So I see both of them in play, then I see the blue shell go off, then I realized, oh wait, I'm not going to be able to blue shell dodge, so the lightning bolt's about to go off, so I try to back out as fast as I can to avoid getting hit, but it targets me instead. So at that point, then my race starts to fall apart, but I try to at least salvage the next best position. So my final item is going to be a triple mushroom, I believe. Yep, triple mushroom. And then right here, there's a player in front who has triple green shells, so I go off to the side and avoid their back spam, because people love to back spam green shells at the last second. So yeah, there's a lot of anticipation in that race, and just being aware of everything that's going on. Now, what could have helped me do a lot better in that race is that if I had dropped out as soon as I saw both the blue shell and the lightning bolt, because I knew at that point I was not going to be able to blue shell dodge, so if I had just reacted a little bit faster, I would have done a lot better. Probably. You never know. But anyway, on to the next race. Okay, next up we have a race on Bowser's Castle. And so right here at the start, I believe I get triple greens? No, it's a different race. I get hit by banana peels that are dragged by all the other racers, and I get off to a really bad head start, so... But it is the beginning of the race, and it is Mario Kart, so there's always a chance to catch up. Just don't be salty about it, just try to do your best after this. Only beginning of the race. 2 more laps to make a comeback. Anyway, my next item is a piranha plant, and then I go off to the right-hand side, but then I realize I'm on the same path as a triple red shell, so I probably might have to deal with that. And then right here, I notice that the triple red takes some wider lines, because I think they're probably trying to troll me, so I tap my brake button just to go a bit slower and let them stay ahead. I'm also clearing off to the side so they don't throw them backwards at me. And luckily, they get hit by a bomb and taking out all 3 of their shells. And so I just decided to take the shortcut and just start using more of the mushrooms. Now right here, I narrowly avoided a bomb, and luckily it didn't blow up on me. At this point, I know that there's a blue shell in play. And I get hit by a red shell, and I immediately use my mushroom to recover, but that was a very bad idea, since the blue shell was right there. What I should have done is just waited a little bit longer to use the mushroom, because if the blue shell ended up hitting me at that point, I could have just used the mushroom so I would still have it. Don't want to use your items immediately after getting hit. Gotta assess the situation and and be careful. Now right here is a star right behind me, and they go out of their way to hit me. I think they may have fallen off, or they might have just been slowing down just to hit me again. Right there, just hit me again, so... yeah, I don't know if they were trolling me, or they just fell off and just happened to run into me again. Now right here I decided to chain my star and pick up a boomerang. Now a little bit later I'm going to be using this boomerang very effectively. Oh yeah, and I notice my star is about to wear off, so I don't go for the entire shortcut, so I'm not stuck in the off-road. And right here a lightning bolt has appeared, so I throw my boomerang backwards, and it comes back to me after I get shocked. Then right here I throw my boomerang forward, immediately use my star, and get my boomerang back. That's what I call boomerang chaining. And so right here I'm just trying to hop and I'm just ignoring my drift so that way I can just use my perfect acceleration just to make the turns very tight. And right here, I'm about to take the lead with a boomerang, and you might notice on the gamepad screen to the left-hand side of the screen, I actually appear to have no item. People can still see the boomerang in my hand, but that's just one side effect of boomerang chaining. You'll appear to have no item in the gamepad if you use your items fast enough. And so yeah, at this point I'm just pretty much front-running the whole time, so it's only a different way of using the boomerang, and just gotta be aware of everything, as usual. Alrighty, so let's just move on to the next race. Okay, next up we have a race on Animal Crossing Autumn, with only a few players in the lobby, but even if there are a few players, the races can still be pretty interesting. Right here I try to attack first place with my green shells, but I ended up hitting myself in the process, but luckily an apple fell right in front of me, so I was able to recover with that. And I was actually hopping right there rather than drifting most of the times. I find that a little bit easier to control with high speed on turns, especially on 200cc. Now if we go back to where I throw these green shells, I'm actually throwing them away from these racers. I'm actually aiming for where they're going to be. When it comes to throwing items at people in Mario Kart, try to aim for where they're going to be, not for where they are currently. And right there I get rid of my piranha plant, and because I'm fire hopping right here, I ended up missing the items. And so then I see Ale pick up a triple banana, so I'm anticipating him to drop some bananas. He throws one backwards, one more, and his last banana peel. The next he picks up a single banana, and I pick up a mushroom. So I'm about ready to take this next shortcut right here. And then I see Ale drop his banana peel backwards, so I'm starting to notice that he's a pretty aggressive frontrunner, so I gotta be extra careful with him. Next, he picks up triple green shells, so I know he's gonna throw them backwards on this turn, but I can't really do much since green shells are so fast when they're thrown backwards, so wasn't really much I could have done there. Now, Ale gets hit by a banana peel right there, and so he's taking advantage of that low speed just to backspam his green shells, so I get hit again by his green shells. So then I pick up a blooper, and justice is served for Ale since he's about to get hit by a blue shell. So I'm just saving this blooper and about to use it right before the next item box. So now we're into the final lap, and I pick up a triple mushroom, and a bomb is just landed right there, so I take a little bit tighter line just to avoid it. And I'm also taking the turn a little bit slower since I see that red shell. And so, since first place is defenseless, they're being taken down, and then I'm just holding on to these mushrooms so I can take the shortcut at the last second. And because Jonathan had a super horn, they took out a banana peel that Ale had thrown. So now I'm in the lead with triple mushrooms. See, that's what being patient and holding on to your items does. You can get very powerful items up to first place, and finish first with all those mushrooms. Okay, so that's another race with anticipation, a little bit of luck, and some patience when it comes to holding on to powerful items. You never know if you can actually get those up to the top spots. Next up we have a race on Cloudtop Cruise. And so right at the start, I get a single green shell, and so I immediately throw it just so I can hopefully get a snipe on somebody at the very beginning. But that did not work, but fortunately it did not come back and hit me like in that last race. But I ended up running into banana peels right in the air, so I decided to back up and get another item box. Sometimes if you're stopped right next to an item box, it's a good idea to back up and get another one. So now I'm just trying to catch up with these two mushrooms, and I've decided to make a fire hop chain at the boost panel section right here. So I use the mushroom right here, and try to reach the other boost panels, though I kind of butchered a little bit, so I'd use my last mushroom to continue the fire hop chain, and got through it without getting hit by the shock platforms. Right here I have a star, and so I immediately look to my gamepad to see if any lightning bolts appear, but I also had to keep track of the triple red in front of me. Now right there I noticed that there's a lightning bolt in play, so I use my star immediately, and get a shock dodge, and pick up a boomerang up next. Now, like in the Bowser's Castle race, I decided to chain my boomerang at the next item box, but I also look backwards just to see an incoming red shell. Now because I boomerang chained right here, the boomerang comes back and takes out one of my red shells, so I'm left with only one red shell out in the lead. That's one risk with boomerang chaining. Sometimes the boomerang can come back and destroy some of your orbiting items. So now, single red shell orbiting is not very good to front run with, so I decided to just throw it backwards and try to hit second place, but that didn't quite work, as you saw right there. So right now I'm just trying to defend my lead and just get all those fire hops in. And I pick up a triple banana, and second place picks up a fire flower, so I'm trying to be extra careful here and not get hit by the fireball spam. And because I'm paying so much attention to the fire flower, I don't notice an incoming blue shell. I get hit by one fire flower, so then at this point I decide to try to catch as many people in the explosion as I can. Which didn't work, but I'm right next to a boost panel, so I don't lose quite much time from that. And I pick up triple green shells, and so then right here I decide to spam them and hopefully hit the two people in front of me. Now right there you see the first place person seemed to get hit, but they weren't actually. Then they actually get hit. So now it's just me and Ryan with the super horn, and I have a mushroom. So I have to look for an opening right here to see if I can pass him without getting hit by a super horn. So right here I'm just searching, looking for that opportunity. I notice he's going far off to the right to get a boost panel, so I decide to go off to the far left and use my mushroom and overtake him. So I'm out of his range, so I'm pretty much safe at this point from the super horn. But I gotta be careful with this last shortcut. There's a banana peel right there, so I leave my own banana peel right there, and end up winning the race. So yeah, definitely, yet again, more anticipation, and also looking for an opportunity to pass somebody when they have a dangerous item. Sometimes you just gotta take those risks. Anyway, on to the next race. Next up we have a race on Mario Kart Stadium with, once again, a few players, but the race is definitely very interesting. So my first item is a triple banana, and I tried to go wide to avoid the PM's banana peel, but I ended up taking the turn too tight when I came back to normal lines. And I ended up hitting other people and losing all three of my banana peels. Next I pick up a single red shell, but I hesitate a little bit since I gotta make sure nobody behind me has a red shell. Always look at the people behind you before using your items. So I throw my red shell and hope to get another red shell to take him out, but it's a super horn so I can't really do much about that. Though I could use it to stop the person behind me from passing me, but they weren't able to do that. So I decided to just chain the super horn at the item box. Next I pick up a piranha plant, and I notice that there's a blue shell in play, so I gotta keep an eye out to see if first place will try to drop out on me. Right there I notice that they're slowing down, so I stop right at the item boxes so that way I can pick up another item, and right there a lightning bolt happens to appear. I didn't notice that, and so then I pick up triple red shell to take people out. Now right behind me I didn't realize that there was a super horn right until the last second, but I couldn't avoid it, and so I'd lose all my red shells. So now I just gotta recover and keep up with people. It's a pretty close race at this point. I'm just hop sliding down here, and I stop my hop slides before the item box, that way I don't end up missing the items. Sometimes hop sliding can cause you to miss item boxes and gliding pads. Right here I'm just throwing my green shells to see if I can stop Chris off in the distance, and then right here I decide to just throw them, and PM happens to drop his banana peels backwards, and so I hit them accidentally. And then a lightning bolt goes off right here, and a mushroom conveniently lands right in front of me, so I just take it and just start fire hopping like crazy. And right here I notice there's a blue shell in play, and then I pick up a Piranha Plant, but I don't immediately use it because I know that the blue shell will eventually arrive. Now crazy red shell's headed right for me, and I go off to the road to wall dodge it, but I somehow end up avoiding it anyway. Now at this point, I just need to rely on my last item to overtaking everybody, which happens to be a triple red shell. There happens to be 3 defenseless players right in front of me, and take them all down, and another conveniently placed mushroom. I am very surprised I actually ended up winning this race. There was definitely a lot of luck involved in that race, but just, once again, you just gotta see those opportunities, and just be aware of everything that's going on. I'm really surprised I actually won that. Okay, next up we have a race on Rainbow Road. And my first item is a triple banana, and I have to be very careful right here since there's so many triple greens around me. And I end up getting backspammed with the green shells, but I barely survived with only 1 banana peel, so I was pretty lucky right there. Then right here I try to go for a banana snipe using the ramp, but there's some level geometry above that block the banana peel from doing that. Now, because first place is a big distance because of the cannon section right here, I pick up a star. Your item is determined based on your distance from first place. And since I'm invincible right here, the red shells are actually going to skip over me and go for first place instead. That's a good strategy to do with stars. And then there goes first place. Then I end up taking the lead with a single red shell. So then I end up front running for the next lap, so let's skip over to when things get more interesting. Okay, so nearing the end of the second lap, a lightning bolt appears right here, and so since it's the CPU, I decided to drive off the edge and see if I can shock dodge while respawning, but I did that a little bit too early and ended up getting shocked right after the respawn. So pretty much just gotta catch up for the final lap, but luckily everybody's right next to each other, so I have a chance to make a comeback. The first place is starting to get a big distance since they had the Piranha Plant, and I think they also got a shock dodge. Fortunately, second place picks up a blue shell, and I have a super horn, so I can get some more defense after they get blue shelled. I could have blasted Ellie out of the air right here, but I decided to just hold on to my super horn just in case of any other shenanigans happening, because there's a triple green shell back there, so I just saved just in case it comes and hits me. My next item is a triple red shell, and since first place is defenseless, I decided to throw my red shell and stop them. But Ellie picks up a Piranha Plant, so I take the wide turn, but Ellie also takes the wide turn and kills me, and ends up ruining my race at that point. And so everything just begins falling apart at this point. I try to go for a mushroom, but it was stolen. Another lightning bolt appears. I hope to get a star the next item box. It's not a star, it's a mushroom. I end up getting shocked right here, and falling off the road, and everything, like I said, everything fell apart at this point. And I end up falling down to 7th place because of some bad luck right there. Wasn't really much I could have really anticipated since the Piranha Plant has a big reach, and Ellie was also trying to kill me at the same time, so not really much I could have done there, but yeah, sometimes things are just out of your control in Mario Kart, and you end up losing anyway. Oh well, on to the next race. So the final race I'll be looking at in this video is a race on SNES Rainbow Road. So this took place right after that other Rainbow Road race, and I get a... what did I get at the beginning? I got a red shell at the beginning, and I noticed Ellie has double bananas in front of me, so I take the turns wide just to avoid all the bananas ahead. Then Ellie uses her last banana peel, so I take my vengeance on her for killing me in that last race, and then my next item is a star. So I decided to just hold on to this star and hope for a lightning bolt to appear later in the race. That's what I always like to do with stars and bullet bills. Now next up, third place picks up a triple red shell, and then right here I decide to skip out on my going for the super mini turbo, and I look backwards to see if any red shells are incoming. If there were any red shells, I could have just used my star and let them skip me and attack first place, which only has a mushroom. But the triple reds were falling down to position, so I didn't really need to do that. Now right here, first place hits a banana peel and a blue shell is incoming, but I don't want to use my star, so I decide to drop out and let them take a blue shell anyway, but they end up picking up another mushroom, so they get the blue shell dodge. I also slow down right before the explosion, so that way I don't end up getting caught in that. So I'm still just being patient and waiting for a lightning bolt to appear, but who knows, there might not even be a lightning bolt in a race. That is the risk with holding onto your items for the entire race. Though I am close enough to first place that I could probably just overtake them with the extra speed from the star. But let's find out if there is a lightning bolt later on. Right there is a lightning bolt, and it's a CPU, so I immediately use my lightning bolt, my star, and get the first place shock dodge, and then just make a run for it at that point. So yeah, that's definitely how patience really pays off. I probably could have been able to take first place anyway since I had the star, but they did pick up a mushroom, so who knows if I was going to be able to get first even without the lightning bolt. But yeah, that's definitely yet another demonstration of being patient, and also there wasn't really much awareness in that race, so... I finished first place, I finished with 300 59 points overall in the tournament, and when PK Sparks read off the position charts and read off the standings on stream, I was in 2nd place overall, so that was pretty nice session of Tough Breaks for me. So, thank you all so much for watching this race analysis. Let me know what you think about this format of doing the race analyses. It's definitely a lot of fun and definitely a lot easier for me to make. I mean, you don't have to do as much editing, and I just watch the video and just try to remember all of my strats and just share my strats with you guys so that way you guys can apply it to your own races, and also some of the other Mario Kart games. But enough rambling. Thank you all so much for watching, and check out my other racing guides playlist in the description below. Alright, see you all next time.